If you Google motorcycle culture, you're going to get a varying definition of what motorcycle riding actually is. Just like there's a variety of different styles of motorcycles, there's also a variety of subcultures within motorcycling. You got your adventure riders, the Harley guys, the cruisers, you have your motorcycle clubs, the cafe racers, the naked bike riders that stemmed from the Street Fighter culture. You got the supermoto hooligans, the stunt riders, the Grom squad, and you could even include the scooter riders, those that ride the Vespas and the Honda Ruckuses. There's so many subcultures of motorcycle riding, but to me the most undefined of them all has to be the people who ride sport bikes. See, if you're a longtime follower of this channel, you may have heard me say that everybody and their grandma owns a GSXR. And I know a lot of you squids always get offended when I make fun of you, but there's gotta be some truth to that. See, I think sport bike riders have to be the most unique individuals in all the subsets of motorcycle riding. If I were to tell you to describe what a cafe racer is, you might say, oh, they wear the built bullet helmets, they wear leather gloves, and they shop at Forever 21 for ripped jeans. And if I told you to define an adventure rider, you might just go off and say, well, they're the dad bods of the motorcycle riding world, and Harley riders are just the ones who are too afraid to ride these. Today we're going to try to define the people who ride these. Who are they? Who are we? Who the f*** am I?
Something I've been trying real hard to do is define who I am in the motovlogging space, the motorcycle content creating community, and I'm trying to figure out who I am. Like, I ride sport bikes, but I also have a passion for all things motorcycles. I ride the Suron every now and then, but I also don't really attend Two Wheel Tuesdays, and that's where most of the sport bike riders like to gather. I've been thinking about buying a supermoto. I've also been thinking about doing like a hyper naked conversion on this bike, and in my head I'm thinking, like, should I join that community, the supermoto community, the hyper naked community, or would I still technically be considered part of the sport bike community? This summer I had the privilege of hanging out with the car community. I went to like car meets and I got to know a lot of these people, and they're pretty awesome. Something I noticed in the car community is the different types of car owners like to separate themselves from the different types of car owners. Like the Euro guys don't hang out with the import guys, with the exotic import guys don't hang out with the non-exotic import guys. Like you would never see like an NSX guy hanging out with a Honda Civic Type R guy. Or maybe they do, I'm not sure. But I mean, when I went to those parking lot meets, the NSXs were like in one spot and then everybody else was everywhere else. It's interesting how they divide themselves in that community. Like they all come together during like a Cars and Coffee, just like motorcyclists do during a Two Wheel Tuesday. Here's something that I noticed though. There's certain groups within the subcultures of the motorcycle world that do like their own ride. For instance, cafe racers will go hang out with other cafe racers. Adventure guys will go on an adventure. Harley guys will find a bar somewhere to get fat, most likely a jacked up version of Hooters. Stunt riders will go out and stunt, and the supermoto hooligans will go and piss off a bunch of Karens in their neighborhood. But the sport bike riders never have like a sport bike ride, or we'll never do like, hey, here's a sport bike only meetup. The sport bike riders, people like us, we just kind of show up in every subset of every community. Like we can show up at a Harley bar, we can show up at a cafe racer meet. You'll never hear of like R1 only meet or like S1000 RR ride only. I know there's like Facebook groups that are like S1000 RR owners and that kind of shit, but honestly, like, it's this day and age, who still uses Facebook groups? Who's still going on Facebook groups? You old ass motherfuckers. Now what about the motovlogging community? I think there's like this misconception that everybody knows each other in the motovlogging community, and that's actually not even true. In my opinion, I don't really think there's a motovlogging community. There may have been like back when it first started, and I think that's just because all those dudes who started motovlogging and kind of paved the way for the rest of us, they all knew each other and they all kind of grew together. But if you look at it now, nobody hangs out with each other. I also think motovlogging is just one of those things that has been done over and over and over again. And I don't think there's real originality in this space anymore. I think motovlogging itself, it's dead in the sense that everything has been done. And sport bikes and sport bike riders is similar in that sense that we're at a point in sport bike riding where the barrier of entry is almost non-existent. And the reason I say everybody and their mom has a GSX-R is because I've met some people who are moms, who are grandmothers, who ride sport bikes. Like they don't ride anything else. They've never ridden a Harley, they've never owned a Harley, they've never owned anything else but sport bikes. And for me, that's what makes sport bikes so cool, man. Like we are like the melting pot of the motorcycle community. Our subset, our genre of motorcycles, if you will, has no specific style, has no specific requirement. We don't hang out at the same coffee shop. We don't necessarily have a history. I mean, these things have like race histories, but the people that own these, they're not all race fans. For instance, like if you're a cafe racer person, you might be a fan of the culture. You might be a little hip, you're into leather, you're into all things not mainstream. You probably like camping. I don't know why I put that in there. Just something I think of with cafe racer dudes. Like they all, like they go on a group ride and then they all have like their camping gear on the back and some kind of hammock, and that's how they do their cafe racer thing. Another interesting thing is there's a lot of people who started on sport bikes and they made their way to different subcultures of motorcycle riding. I hear it all the time. Oh yeah, I used to ride sport bikes back in the day, now I'm a cruiser guy, or now I'm just an adventure guy because it got old, or my back couldn't handle it, or I just got tired of it, getting tickets, da da da. But I think there's hardly anybody that actually came from like a cafe racer scene, or came from the Harley, or came from adventures, and they were like, you know what, I want to try the crazy sport bike lifestyle now. I want to see what that culture is about. Oh yeah. Appreciation stop, bro. Look at this. Gee whiz. My god, bros. Look at this. Sheesh. One day I'm gonna get a ticket. Man, look at this. Whew. It's cold today though, for real. It is cold.
Man, it's actually busy today. There's a ton of cars like going back and forth on this hill. Damn, look at that bike, bro. Woo! What a beauty! My god, I got her leaned up against this wall thingy, bridge wall deal thing, you know what I'm saying? God, my G, holy hey! God, I love this bike, bro. I freaking love it. Look at that. Look at the frame. Look at the frame, dude. Look at that frame. People who ride these bikes are very passionate about these bikes. And I think that's true for any motorcycle rider, right? You gotta love the thing you're riding, man. And I freaking love this thing. It's gotta be my favorite bike I've ever owned, like period, dude. Jeez, look at this. Jeez. Is the oil still leaking? Probably, yeah. Yeah, maybe, yeah. Look at that chain though, my god, dude! Sheesh! What an appreciation, oh my god. I brought my other camera so I can take a picture.
Ooh, that was fun. I'll tell you what though, sport bike riders definitely have the biggest egos. Golly. Woo. Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's get a rev going. Golly, one more. Woo! Love it. My God, look at this view. Every time I come here, man, you guys are always like, you and that bridge. I'm like, oh, look at it. It's so cool. This is like, man, if I was homeless, this is where I would live. Oh, God. It is a little chilly out today, but surprisingly not as chilly as I thought it was going to be. It helps that I don't take the freeways. Oh, that jack in the box is closed. Holy shit. I wonder if it just got broken into too many times. Defining motorcycle culture is pretty simple. To me, motorcycle culture represents complete and total freedom. When I'm out here riding or vlogging, even if I'm in a group, I don't connect with anybody on a headset. It's literally just me inside my helmet, alone, with my iron horse and the road. It's a feeling like no other. And if you ride, no matter what you ride, you know you can relate to that feeling. But defining sport bike culture, you know, for me, that's a little bit harder to do. Look at this view, my God, bro, look at this. Yay! I love coming out here, even when it's freezing cold like this. One, when it's really nice, these sidewalks are packed, these parking lots are packed, there's a lot of people, but look at it right now. Freezing ass cold, hardly anybody out here. Why would you want to be out here if it's freezing ass cold? I love being out here when I'm all alone, man. It's so fun to me. Surprisingly, a lot of people out today. It's I believe it's a Wednesday? No, it's a Tuesday. Interesting. Oh yeah. I'm gonna park over here today. Yes, I am. I'm gonna give a photo.
Hi, vanilla latte with oat milk, 16. Thanks. Alright, I'm gonna read some of your guys' comments. This guy's name is Seth Barron. 1994, I purchased my first bike. 1994 ZX7 RKRT colors. It spoke to me the first time I saw it. I gravitated to it. It was until the winter of 97 that another bike caught my eye. In the spring of 98, I was riding a blue 98 R1. That's cool. And that bike, still after 25 years, makes my heart flutter. These days I'm back on a 23 Kawasaki ZX-10R and loving the Kawasaki fit and feel. I get it, you gotta love the bike you ride. If it doesn't give you butterflies just looking at it, then it's not for you. That was cool. Thanks, Seth. See, I think sport bikes, or the sport bike culture in general, it's too broad to really define as one category. Sport bike riders are all ages, all shapes, and all sizes. Trying to define sport bike riders as the ones who do wheelies down the street, who lane split when it's completely illegal, who ride like complete asshats, or think that the coolest things in the world, all those things are fucking true. All those things are fucking true. But they're not true for every sport bike rider. I think of sport bike riding almost like a gateway drug to motorcycle. You start here, you do this for a little bit, and then you either stay here for a while like me, or you transition into like a track day only bro. You might go and try to stunt for a little bit, and who knows, if you get really old, you might just go hang out at a Hooters, sip on your Bud Light, eat your chicken wings, and ride your Harley Dyna home. The culture of sport bike riding in itself, at least for me, is still a combination of I'm cool, look at me, I love going fast. I love clowning and hanging out with people who are like me. I drool over motorcycle helmets and boots and gear and suits, but at the same time, I'm still just a dude. I used to think sport bikes were my life, and I would treat it as such. There was nothing more important than riding sport bikes. And as I got older, I used to think I wasn't a sport bike rider anymore because I didn't ride the sport bike as much or ride anything really as much. But what's crazy is like this whole motovlog or motorcycle storytelling, if you will, has gotten me out more than anything has ever gotten me out. I'm really starting to fall in love with the sport bike culture and the sport bike world again. And rather than trying to define it, I think I'm just gonna kind of leave it open. I might go explore some cafe meets in the future. Shit, I might even take the RSV4 out on an adventure ride. I might take it camping. I'll even take the bike to car meets. Everybody's been asking me to take the bike to car meets. So maybe if you're part of that car meet culture and you found me through that, I'll haul the bike down there. Seems like you guys want to see it. You guys have never seen it in person. Maybe some of you guys who don't ride want to see the bike in person, or you just want to see how short I am on the bike. But yeah, I don't think there's any way to define sport bike riders. If you ride a sport bike, you just know.
Now, I will say, there is one sport bike rider that we can define all the time. It's the dudes that ride Gixxer 600s with a Two Brothers slip-on and an Icon vest. The certified squid. If that's you, you better own it, bro. You squids represent a majority of our subculture of sport bikes. Oh man. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like and comment. I'll see you guys tomorrow.